NIO stock price is finally seeing the red to green reversal, getting massive momentum swooping over the top with intense volume, now pulling back with an inverted hammer candle to end the day. Is this an early sign for more continuation, perhaps to make up 50% of this drop, scraping towards that upper $7 level, $6.50 level? Or are we going to continue to see stock price in this more medium-term downtrend? My name's Dylan from Dylan Trades. We're going to break down and analyze ticker symbol NIO. Starting first at the weekly as always to get the long-term analysis, then jumping accordingly to the daily and the hourly to scope a full technical analysis, short-term, medium-term, and long-term. Of course, the elephant in the room, we have seen a huge reversion pressing lower. Over the course of the past few weeks, we started to see candles get thinner, forming doji candles, then eventually snapping right over the top. And this was what we've been waiting for, and haven't been waiting for over the past few months here, guys. When you see stock price in such a descending nature, typically when you see the red candle start to subside, this is a perfect candidate for a red to green reversion, offering a lot of short-term momentum. Okay, so first and foremost, we have seen one effective green week push up. Yeah, we did see, one hammer candle here, but nonetheless, this is just the start of the flip. So keep this in mind, guys. We did see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks up downtrend. Should expect at least another, 2 weeks here to go. So we're going to set on the price start. We're going to set a price target on the channel to that $5.90 level. Does make a lot of logical sense to press up to there. It continued this reversion, holding green weeks. I would be pretty surprised if you don't see these green weeks continue to pump. Typically within this context, pulling back to this big of an area of value with such a beautiful long-term descending channel, which was the focal point where we even started to cover NIO, seeing a lot of potential at the bottom of this descending channel, pressing from $3. We monitored the breakout at 5, ultimately squeezed till $8, till pulling right back towards the top of this descending channel and that previous breakout level. This is a huge back test here of this massive tight confluence and this descending channel. So sitting on that for a couple of weeks, we knew it was going to happen. It was a matter of when. And it's safe to say it is now. So simple as that. Pushing the next few weeks, we should be expecting this red to green reversion to continue pressing higher, getting some momentum, continue to squeeze out any short sellers here and pressing towards that $6 level. On the daily, you get a really interesting image here. Just seeing how stock price has remained to be so technical. Once again, we've been following NIO since the absolute low, forming with a bull flag, crack over the top, huge momentum, pulling back just to do it again. Then we see an inverted, head and shoulders, right, cracking this bear structure, and this did ensue a ton of downside. Now, the tides have flipped bullish, and you're still young in this movement here. Okay, we did get a nice snap within this descending triangle as well, forming lower highs where the sellers are stepping in with even lows, a very tight pinch. And we did see a breakout, a little bit premature trading in this apex structure where technically there was a few more days to trade. Did see that quick snap over the top, getting over that psychological $5 level we mentioned in the last update. Now clean moving over that. So we're on the daily analysis. So what's to be expected over the next 5 days? Well, within this context, we have rejected this descending channel. So you do want to see stock price claim over high a day, getting over 590 to then effectively see that next big pop leading towards $6.50 and $7. There is a very obvious, last seller vantage point right here, as when we snapped out of this descending triangle, there was nothing. NIO is notorious for not really being so dependent off one day's action when the momentum is so bullish. Hence, look at this big downside here. Seen a little bit of a bounce on a big level, didn't matter. Continue to sweep right below it. Right to the upside, to the contrary, big pullback and big level. Well, it did still move from $7 to $8 within 1 week after that. Okay, we've seen tons of context within this, so I do think stock price will get over this vantage point within the next 1, 2, 3 days. The question is, does stock price with this inverted hammer candle rejecting the top pull back and fill that next big huge area of support you need to keep an eye on if you're a short-term trader, or analyze NIO closely, $5.40. Once again, guys, typically buyers will come and sweep that level and then make the upside. So Will that happen? As of right now, it's very 50-50 within the next few days. But what is nearly 100% is that once you start to see confirmation above and scraping over this long-term descending channel, now scraping over this high day, I mean, there's a really clean runway here, guys, to press back towards 650 or even $7. So keep an eye on this high day here, right? Very simple analysis. That big high we did reject at a double resistance level at that 580 is going to be a really big short-term resistance. But with that being said, expect probably a little bit of, consolidation here and then a pop, or we should see an outright green day, just filling the job, doing the job and pushing up come the next 1-2 days here. It really is in the air of how it will happen, but it most definitely leans towards the bulls. Seeing this kind of volume step up with such a nice explosion after very dry action and a long-term downtrend being, way too overextended to the downside, we should expect that weekly analysis putting the pieces together for this red and green inversion to continue to press up, offering at least 5 to 10 daily candles of nice action here, guys. So think at worst, you're looking at a little bit of a pullback, filling this gap for ultimate upside to press back towards $5.90 and $6. We're on the hourly analysis, the last step of the analysis. Today, we see this beautiful descending trend line, which, the seller's been sitting at here, guys, and that absolutely got denied by the buyers, creeping towards it. A lot of dry liquidity on the bottom of the buyer's base, exploding over, getting over that breakout level of $5 mentioned in the last update. And you've seen an absolute gorgeous breakout pressing towards the top of this descending channel. Yes, today's action, you did see a huge pop, then pull back. It's never a good sign to see, but each stock moves differently. Once again, keep this in mind here, guys. So this short-term sign might be a little bit alarming for some stocks, but NIO not so much here. So once again, we are set up in a base where, hey, maybe with this crazy sick move, we will base up for some essence of a bull flag, then continuing higher, right? Or just a little bit of a pullback in general for 1-2 days likely max, and then going up once this gap is filled. So, I wouldn't be screaming at the rooftops to the next 1-2 days for the NIO, as we do need to see, once again, the stabilization, but from the medium and long term, absolutely gorgeous as of right now. Well, and we are pushing in a very nice trajectory for the next 10 days. It's just a matter of, will you see a 1 or 2 day delay? So expect really nice action to continue to concur. Last time we did update NIO here on the hourly, we were looking at this descending triangle, mentioning this is a structure that I think will get us to $6, and we're almost there, guys. So job is still not done. NIO still has more room to give, and I would not personally be selling at this time. This is a buy or hold for me personally. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying in this video is financial advice. But with that being said, the bullish technicals are clearly presented on NIO. Despite rejecting at the top of this descending channel, we should expect more of a movement to continue within the long term, giving that clear red to green inversion, bouncing absolutely gorgeous here on this multi-year descending channel, getting a perfect red to green inversion, adding huge support level. Really doesn't get too much more clean than this, guys. Let's expect some nice price action to come. If you guys found any value in it today, consider dropping a sub. Like we've been continuing to track and cover NIO since these lower $3 levels on the channel, and we'll continue to pump out these updates about 1 to 2 times per week. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Trade it smart and